welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, my name's Georgia Jo and this is my channel where I talk all things books. So today I'm going to do a 24-hour readathon. So I've literally just filmed my July TBR. So I'm thinking I want to spend this maybe reading books just off my TBR. There is actually a book that wasn't on that video that I am in the middle of at the moment. So I want to get that finished first and then we'll go into it. So I'm going to try and do this over 2 days. I think I might do the timer method where I just stop and start when I'm reading. But I'm going to try and get it done in 2 days. Otherwise I think it'll just go on forever if I just literally do the stop and start, you know. Aim for 12 hours a day, but see where I'm at, you know. I'm not sure. All I know is that I need to sleep in between. I can't do an all-nighter. I'm not built for it. It will make me the most miserable person when I wake up, so I'm not going to do that. However, this is the first book that I'm going to read on today's video, which is The Cat Who Solved 3 Murders. So this is about, it's like a cozy mystery, I guess. It's about a cat, Conrad, who talks, but he will only talk to one woman, Lulu I think she's called, because he thinks if he talks to, you know, every human, he's going to end up in a lab. So the first one I think is The Cat Who Caught a Killer, and they like solved a murder together, and then this is The Cat Who Solved 3 Murders, so I'm assuming he's going to solve 3 people that have died in this one. But yeah, it's just a cozy book. Like I say, I have already started reading it. I think I'm actually listening to it on BookBeat whilst I'm reading it, so I think I've got like 4 hours left, something like that on it, so I'm quite a bit way through it. I think I'm about halfway maybe. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing it and seeing what's actually happened. Up to now, only 2 people have died, so that's why I'm like not sure if it is, well, it must be 3 murders, but I don't know who the 3rd person is that's gonna die. But it is just really like a cute, funny book where the cat talks and he's got his own little personality and he's helping solve these murders, and it's just a really lovely book. It's a good time. It's a book that I needed to read right now. So yeah, that is the first one of the video that I'm going to finish. And then I think maybe I'm gonna, like I say, read books from my TBR and see how many I can get read in the 24-hour period. So I've only actually done one of these before, and because I slept in between and I think I had quite a long sleep, I think I only read like 3 books. We'll see. Hopefully I'll get 6 books finished. I think because I'm doing it where I'm actually going to stop the timer when I'm asleep, I think I'll be able to get 6 books finished in the 24 hours, if that makes sense. So that's the goal, that's the aim, but obviously it doesn't really matter how many books I actually finish. Like I said, I'm going to start with The Cat Who Solved 3 Murders, and then we'll go from there, see what I'm fancying. Romance, fantasy, general fiction, a literary fiction, I don't know the difference, and or a thriller, maybe another mystery, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, let's start on this book and we'll go from there. Okay, so I have just finished The Cat Who Solved 3 Murders. Again, like, I'm pretty sure I said this earlier, but now I've obviously finished the book. I'm pretty sure there were only 2 murders, so I'm not really sure why it's called The Cat Who Solved 3. Oh no, wait, I get it. It's literally just, it's just all clicked in my head as I'm saying that. Anyway, ignore me, there are 3. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think it's just such a nice, cozy, it's like the first one, it's just, it's a daft little mystery, you know, where I didn't guess what was going on, don't get me wrong. It's like, I was still like, you know, intrigued the whole time and I'm really invested in it. But just the fact that like the cat talks, and I like how obviously cats like meow, and he would like meow in front of other people that weren't Lulu, and they would go, oh my god, look, he talks, and Lulu would be like, yes he does. And I just think that's so cute, because obviously only she and the cat knows that he actually talks, like not just meows, he actually talks, but only to Lulu. So yeah, I just think it's really nice, cozy. I guess it would come under like a cozy mystery, or maybe it's just a mystery, I don't know, but it just feels a bit like nicer than other mysteries, you know, even though there is people dying in it. I think it's just the talking cat makes it feel a bit nicer, I don't know. Anyway, I did very much enjoy it. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it yet, maybe like 3.5, 4 stars, something around that region. And yeah, so my timer is on 22 hours and 10 minutes left. So what's that, like 2 hours ish? Just under 2 hours it took me to finish that, because I was listening to it and I listened to it on 2 times speed. So I think when I started there was just under 4 hours left, so that makes sense. So yeah, 22 hours, 10 minutes left, and let's start with the next book. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I think because that was quite a chilled book. What did I read before that? What have I just finished? Let's have a look. I don't know what I'm in the mood for, but I also don't know what I've read recently. I'm definitely one of those people that once I've read a book, it's gone out of my head. Like once I put it down and started the next one, it's gone out of my head, you know? So the one before that I read was the Kamigawa Food Detectives, which is like it's not, I was gonna say it's like a similar vibe to that, but it's not at all the same kind of book. I just mean it's like not much brain power has to go into reading it. And then before that I read the Children of Blood and Bone, The Legacy of Orisha series. I read all 3 books. So I think I'm in the mood for a bit of a fantasy. So maybe I'll read Reckless. Maybe I'll start that, which is the second one in the Powerless series. I don't know if that series has a name or if it's just Powerless series, I'm not sure, but I am looking forward to reading this. So we've got Reckless by Lauren Roberts. So I've read Powerless obviously, and I've read Powerful, which is the novella like in between. So Powerful is about Adina, who is Payden's best mate, who's the main lead in this book. So this is like a fantasy series where she's an ordinary. Payden is an ordinary, but she's like disguising herself as being an elite. So they have ordinaries and elites and mundanes, I think it was. And elites have like the best powers, mundane just have like regular powers that aren't really too like useful to the kingdom, and then ordinaries don't have powers. But all the ordinaries got, I think they thought it was like a contagious like curse or something, so they killed all the ordinaries, something like that. They killed them all or banished them from the kingdom, but Payden has disguised herself as a mundane. I think she disguised herself as like a, what's it called, like a she can read minds type thing, that kind of mundane, but really she was just good at reading people and it made them believe she could read the mind, something like that. But she's actually an ordinary, but she ends up in trials and she ends up in the, what's it called, palace. And Kai, was it? Yeah, Kai was the king's enforcer and his brother is in it. I don't want to say anything else other than that because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that's not read Powerless. But yeah, so this is following Payden and Kai, which I know Lauren Roberts has said on her Instagram that this is following them too. Also the third one's just been announced, which I think was called Fearless, and that's going to be out, I want to say April next year. I don't know, it was early next year anyway that it's been announced to be released. Anyway, absolutely waffling. I'm going to start Reckless because like I say, I'm in the mood for a bit of a fantasy and I want to see where the like story goes. So like I say, I've got 22 hours and was it 10 minutes? 22 hours, 10 minutes left. So I think this will probably take me like a while to read. Let's see how long it is. Let's see how long the audiobook is. And then that'll give me a good clue. Okay, so the audiobook is 11.5 hours. So this is probably going to take me like 7 hours, something like that. 6 or 7 hours to read. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Let's see what's happening with Payden and Kai. Okay, so I am currently 121 pages into Reckless, which I think is about a third of the way. I think it's about 380-ish pages long. So yeah, I'm around a third of the way and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. It did take me a little bit to sort of get back into it. Like some of the things that they were saying, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that's what happened, and you know, I just didn't remember exactly how it ended. I did watch a little recap of Powerless, but it just more so recapped the like structure, you know, with the elites and the ordinaries and the trials and stuff like that. It didn't really recap what actually happened in the story, so I kind of forgot. But yeah, it was coming back to me the more the story went on, and now I'm like fully in the world again, you know. I don't know if I'm enjoying it as much as I was Powerless, but I think that's just because I'm quite near the beginning. I know I said I'm a third of the way through, but it's kind of just getting into like the proper story now. It's just like a big chase at the moment, basically. So it's just a bit like repetitive, you know, it's just a bit the same thing, a bit of back and forth. So I feel like now the story is gonna actually get going a bit more, you know what I mean? So yeah, I am enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. I just think it's maybe a little bit slow at the beginning, so I'm hoping it kind of speeds up a bit, you know. I do also feel like I'm getting really tired, which probably isn't helping, but for my timer I am on 20 hours and 23 minutes, so I think that's about 2 hours since I did my last update. I think that took me about 2 hours to get through the 120-ish pages, so that's basically a page a minute, isn't it? Yeah, so still got 20 hours 23 minutes left. I'm going to carry on reading now, and I probably, unless something like major happens, I probably won't do another update until I finished it, because I find it really difficult to sort of talk about books that are part of a series, because I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Anyone that's not read the first one, or even if you've read the first one but you've just not read this one, I don't want to like ruin it, you know, which I guess is the same for all books, but I feel like it's different for a series, because if you've not read the first, I don't want to say anything that's happened in the first that, you know, continues in this or whatever. So yeah, I probably won't do another update until we've finished, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna carry on reading now, and then I will see where I'm up to. I think it'll probably be another like 5 hours, something like that, 4 hours reading. And then what time is it now? So that'll probably take me to about 8-ish maybe, so I probably won't get much done after this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to plan ahead because I don't know what time I'll fully finish this at. So one book at a time. So I'm going to carry on with Reckless. Like I say, enjoying it. It's just a little bit slow. I'm hoping it gets into it a bit more. But yeah, so let's carry on reading. I kind of figured that. If you've read the book, I've just got to what I assume is Kit's last chapter. And I already kind of guessed that. I don't know if it was like meant to be a surprise, but I kind of figured that one out. Oh, it's done. It's finished. Like I say, I saw that coming as soon as the like thing was introduced in his office. I kind of figured that's what it was. I think that was quite obvious. Because I saw people saying how like shocking the ending was. So I was expecting something different. I thought, oh well, it mustn't be that because that's the obvious answer. It must be something else. But no, it was that. Which is sad from the scene, like the scenes before. And I feel like I'm being so cryptic, but I have to be because I don't want to ruin it for anyone. But yeah, so I just finished Reckless, as you could tell. I feel like it was a typical, you know, in like a trilogy, the second book is almost like a filler book. It's just leading on to the third one. You know, it's just bringing the first and third together. There's not necessarily loads that's actually happening in it until the cliffhanger at the end that leads on to the third. I feel like it was basically that. Not loads is happening. It felt like it was just one really long scene, to be honest, because it was kind of the same like thing happening the whole time. Stuff was happening, but it was just the same like thing. I'm not explaining that well at all, but yeah, it just felt like one really long scene, you know. And a few things were happening where it was like, oh, I didn't realize that was going to happen, but nothing like major. And I think that's typical of yeah, it's typical very often is the second book in a trilogy is a bit like that. So I think it just kind of lived up to that, you know. So it was good. I'm definitely looking forward to reading Fearless. I think that's, well, I'm hoping it's going to really bring the sort of trilogy together, you know. And I think probably a lot more is going to happen in Fearless. But yeah, I don't really know how I feel. I feel like it was probably like a 3.5 star maybe, because I just think I couldn't tell you, even now I just finished it, I couldn't really tell you much that's happened in it, you know. So yeah, I just think it was kind of there. It does its job, it does its purpose, it's well written, don't get me wrong, and it went really fast and I was like invested the whole time, but it's there. It does its job, it does what it's meant to, it does what it says on the tin, you know. It brings the first and the second books, the first and what I'm assuming the third book, it brings them sort of together, you know, rounds off the first book and leads on to the third. So yeah, it does its job, it's a good second book. It was a little bit like Powerful, where it's there. It does the job it needs to do, but it's not like nothing crazy is happening, you know? So yeah, that was Reckless by Lauren Roberts. So I am on 16 hours and 3 minutes. 16 hours and 3 minutes left. So I'll probably only do, it is just gone 9 o'clock, so I'll probably only do maybe like another hours of reading tonight. And I think I want to carry on reading Night Shift, I think it's called, because I have already started it. So I think I'm gonna read this one because I also have it on my Kindle so I can read it in bed. So I'm gonna go with this, Night Shift by Annie Crown. I've been reading it on my Kindle, like I say, so I'm not sure how far along I am in the book. I want to say I'm probably like a third of the way ish. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with it. I am enjoying it so far. It's a very cute like romance, but I'm not sure where the story is going to go, because it kind of makes a point about it not having like the miscommunication trope. Because she basically, let me explain what it is. She works in the library, or like helps out in the library in college, and he's a basketball player. So it's very much like she's helping him study. Or like study, because really it was just an excuse to talk to her, and he's gonna sort of help her become more confident and outgoing. So it's following, I can't even remember the names. Oh yeah, Kendall and Vincent. So it's following those two, and it's just she is a reader, and she reads very much books that are like TikTok books, you know, like she reads a lot of smut, and she talks about the different tropes and stuff like that, and her and her friend talk about how they hate the miscommunication trope, which same. So I don't know where it's sort of going to go now, you know, because the sort of romance has started, and there's not going to be, I'm assuming, or I hope there's not going to be like a third act breakup that's to do with miscommunication, because that just feels like it doesn't fit the characters, you know, because they've made such a point of it. So I don't really know where it's gonna go. So like I say, I think I want to say about a third of the way through, but I'm not 100%. I'll probably read about an hour tonight, and I won't film anymore tonight, and then I will carry it on tomorrow. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Carry on reading it, and yeah, see where it's gonna go, because I've genuinely not got a clue. Good morning. So I did a little bit of reading last night, and I've done a bit this morning of the Night Shift. I think I'm maybe about 60% of the way in now, and I'm enjoying it so far. They've had the little sort of, I want to say, miscommunication, but they're like talking about it, you know, so they know it's miscommunication. Yeah, they've done the sort of, I don't know if it's a third act breakup yet, because it's like halfway through. So I don't really know where the story's gonna go now for the next 40%. I feel like I've been like that throughout this whole book. Like I don't know how there's another 40% of the book left, you know? Unless it's just not following typical romance like plot lines, you know? So I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't really know how I feel about it. I think the whole librarian help and basketball player, very cute. I'm enjoying that like aspect of it, but I feel like it could have been a bit more, you know? So I'm not massively vibing with it. Glad I'm reading it, and I'll definitely carry on. I don't want a DNF, not at all, but it's just not maybe my favourite book ever, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna carry on reading. I'm on, where's my phone? Let's see. Got left 14 hours, 27 minutes and 50 odd seconds. So I probably won't get all that done today, I'll be honest. I'm gonna try and do the 12 hours still, and then maybe I'll just do a couple of hours tomorrow, because I don't think I will read for 14 and a half hours today. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Gonna carry on reading, and I'll probably just do an update when I finished. So carry on with the night shift. So I've now finished the night shift. I've just finished it and I don't really know how I feel. I feel like there was parts like towards the end where I was just like skim reading it because I was a bit bored. I think sometimes when the characters are like in college and they just seem young, like really young, I'm a bit uncomfortable reading it, you know. I don't know, I just think, I don't know, it's just a bit odd. Maybe I'm just getting old, but I just don't enjoy it as much, you know. I'd rather the characters be like mid to late 20s type thing or older. But yeah, so I didn't massively enjoy it, but nothing like offensive, or it wasn't a bad book at all. I'd probably give it 3 stars. I think it's just like a typical sort of romance. I liked that she is a reader and talks about books and talks about the different tropes. I liked that there wasn't loads of miscommunication in there, and it sort of makes a point of that. But yeah, not my favourite romance I've ever read, but not the worst I've ever read either. So that's where we're at with that one. So that was The Night Shift by Annie Crown. And timer wise, I've got 12 hours and 38 minutes left. So I think, was I reading for about 2 hours there to finish that? So yeah, we've got just over 12 and a half hours left, and I'm not sure what I want to read. So I've read a bit of a mystery, a fantasy and a romance in this video so far. So let's see what else is on my TBR for the month, and then we'll figure it out. So let's prop you up there. So my options are, we've got Swimming for Beginners, which might be a nice one to read, just like I think it's just like a general fiction. We've also got City of Ashes, which is the next one in the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I think that's the second book. Got A Bicycle Built for Sue, which again I think is a general fiction. We've got Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which is a contender because it's quite a short book. We've got that one, which I don't really know what it's about. Oops. We have got the next ones in the Shatter Me series, so the light novella and the next full-size book, Unravel Me and Unite Me. They're on the TBR. Then we've also got The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden, The Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron, Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyamide, and The Theory of Not Quite Everything by Cara Nod. So there are options. So let's see what I fancy reading. I think I'd either like to read The Theory of Not Quite Everything by Cara Nod, because I think it just sounds like something I'm a bit in the mood for at the moment. So we've got that as an option, or Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which is like quite a short book. I think maybe we'll go with Before the Coffee Gets Cold first, and then maybe we'll read The Theory of Not Quite Everything afterwards. And yeah, I don't think this book will take very long, probably like 3 or 4 hours maybe. So it's in a small back alley in Tokyo. There's a cafe which has been serving carefully brewed coffee for more than 100 years. But this coffee shop offers its customers a unique experience, a chance to travel back in time. So I feel like that's quite common with the like Japanese books that have been translated, is it's got like such a quirky, unique theme, and they're quite like simple and easy to read. So we're gonna go with that first. We'll start this, and then I think I'll move on to The Theory of Not Quite Everything, but we'll see how we feel afterwards. But yeah, so I'm gonna start this one next. So I'm actually gonna DNF this book. I'm so sad about it because I really thought I was going to enjoy it, but I'm so bored. I'm so unbelievably bored. I'm like halfway through it and I just, not one bit of me wants to carry on reading it. I'm just really bored with it. I think it's just falling so flat and I feel really disappointed about it. I think, so basically it's about a coffee shop where if you go in, you have the chance to go back in time, but you go back in time but you can't like change the present, and there's just so many rules to it, like daft rules, which I've repeated so many times, and like it's only a small book, so for that much of the book to be taken up by these rules, I just feel like it was so repetitive, and the like conversations between the people are not like enjoyable. I understand it's not a book where you're gonna feel like connected to the characters, you know, you're not getting to know them as such, but just the like dialogue is boring. It's so boring. I have no desire to carry on reading it, so I don't want to waste my time reading it. So I'm actually going to DNF it at like 100 pages, 120 pages ish, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's just not for me, which is so disappointing. But I am so glad I didn't buy the rest of the series, which I was going to do, because I thought I would really enjoy this, but no, it's just not for me. I just think it was just boring. So yeah, I'm glad I haven't got the rest of the series. I'll probably end up getting rid of this. But yeah, so that's because before the coffee gets cold. It's called that because one of the rules is you've got to come back to present day before your coffee gets cold. It just gets poured for you. So that's why it's called that. But it's like rules like that, like it's just so silly. I just found it was a bit daft and boring. So I'm going to DNF this one, unfortunately. Time wise, we've got left 10 hours and 48 minutes. So I think I was just having a look then before I picked my camera up, and I don't massively have a desire to read anything off my TBR right now, but there are a few books that I want to read. So like over here are where all my books are. So that up here is where my actual monthly TBR is. They're the books I've read in this video, and then all of these I've not read, and these up here I've not read either. So these are all of my books that I own, and I think at the moment I want to read The Reappearance of Rachel Price, which is here, this one. I think I want to read this. And I think because I've just DNF'd that book, I need to read something that I actually really want to read. So I think I'm going to read this now. Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I really enjoy Holly Jackson's books, so I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy this one just as much. I think 5 Survive, I think it's called. Yeah, 5 Survive was actually my first 5-star of this year. So high hopes for this one. I also really enjoyed the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. I think this might end up taking me the majority of the time, but we'll see. Let's see what the audiobook looks like, because I feel like I can gauge then how long books are going to take me to read, you know. Let's have a look. So the audiobook is 16.5 hours. So usually it's around like half of that time plus an hour or so. So what's 16 divided by 2? 8-ish hours. So yeah, it's probably going to take me the majority of the time to finish this book, which is fine. I'm looking forward to reading it, and yeah, I'm going to start it now and see. So this is a thriller, I assume, like a mystery, the same as the what's it called, Good Girls Guide to Murder. So it's more of a mystery, I guess, than a thriller if she's reappeared. But yeah, so I'm going to give this a go. I will catch up with you soon when I've got some more thoughts and feelings about it. So I'm about 112 pages into The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I'm actually really enjoying it so far, but I've not got one single clue of what sort of is going to happen. So it's following Belle and Charlie, and obviously Rachel Price. So Belle is Rachel and Charlie's daughter, and she was 2 years old when Rachel went missing, and she's now 18. So obviously at 2-year-old she had no idea what happened. She was actually with Rachel at the time she disappeared, but like I say, she was 2-year-old, so she don't remember any of it. She has no idea what happened, and now she's 18 and Rachel has reappeared with this like story of what happened. She's been in someone's basement the whole time, and Belle's just a bit suspicious of it all, I guess, which I think you would be, because she doesn't, as much as this woman is her mum, she doesn't know her. She's not, you know, she's purely a biological mum. She doesn't know anything about her. She's not been there for over the past 16 years of her 18-year life. So she's, yeah, a bit skeptical, a little bit suspicious of her, and we don't know where she's been. Rachel doesn't know who took her or anything like that. So yeah, it's a little bit strange. They're also making a documentary about it. Obviously they didn't know Rachel was going to reappear, so they were making a documentary called The Disappearance of Rachel Price with a whole like documentary team, which sounds like I just can't imagine what that must be like for your whole life to just be about your mum going missing when you were 2 and you don't even know anything about it, you know, you don't know anything about her, but she's just overshadowed her life. Like her mum's disappearance has been Belle's whole life, you know. And now they're making a documentary about it, so it was like bringing up all these old memories and what happened and the day that she went missing and stuff like that, and then she reappears. So yeah, like I say, I've no idea what's going to happen. I don't even have any theories at this point. Charlie Belle's dad did get like arrested for the murder at one point. That happens quite early in the book, you get told that. But obviously was found innocent, and now she's reappeared, so they know he didn't kill her. But yeah, so I don't have any theories. I don't know what's going on, but I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I'm quite invested in it. I want to know what's going to happen, what's going to happen. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I'm enjoying the characters, and I feel a little bit suspicious of Rachel Price, but I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I don't have any theories. I don't know. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I do know I'm enjoying it, so I'm gonna carry on reading it and then I do a little catch up later on. Oh, time wise, I forgot that I was doing a 24-hour readathon then. Time wise, we are on 6.5 hours left, so I'll probably get this book finished, but this will be the last book, I would imagine, because it's quite a long book and I'm only 100 pages in, so as you can see I'm not very far into it. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on reading and see what happens. So I'm actually quite far through the book now. I'm on page 304, so I think there's about 480-ish pages. Oh no, 420-ish pages. I've got about 120 pages to go, but I am really enjoying this so far. I'm so hooked on the story. I still don't really have any theories. I don't trust anyone. I don't know what's gonna happen or sort of what the outcome's gonna be. I have not a clue, but I kind of like that, because I don't like it when you can figure it out, you know. But I just hope the sort of twist or what we find out at the end, I hope isn't going to be something that just makes no sense, where you're just like, oh, obviously I didn't get that because it makes no sense, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really excited to find out. I've got left, let's see, 3 hours and 9 minutes left on my timer. 3 hours and 9 minutes left. So I think I'll probably get this finished maybe in a couple of hours. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, maybe like 2.5 hours, something like that, which only leaves me with like half an hour left for my 24-hour period. And obviously I'm not going to get a book read in half an hour, so I'm not sure what I'll do for that, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just start another one. But yeah, so very much enjoying this reappearance of Rachel Price so far. Like I say, not got any theories, don't know what's going to happen, but I'm so invested in it. Like, I just want to sit and read it for the rest of the day, or for the next few hours, and find out what's gone on, you know. I really like the characters too. I think there's like a side character that's called Ash, who I'm really enjoying. I like the sort of dialogue between him and Belle. I think it just flows really well. I think they're really good characters, and their like relationship's really good. Yeah, I think there's a few side characters where they are incredibly annoying, but they're meant to be annoying, you know. Like Sherry is meant to be annoying, I'm pretty sure, and Rachel is obviously meant to be suspicious, but obviously because we're sort of hearing it all from Belle's point of view, I'm on Belle's side. Like, anything Belle believes, I believe, you know. So I feel like she's very convincing, but I just don't know. I just don't know what is gonna happen. I don't know who to trust. I don't know what's the sort of outcome is if Rachel's telling the truth, is she lying? If she is lying, why? If she's telling the truth, who was it that like took her in the first place? I don't know, so many questions. Hopefully they'll all be answered in the next 120 pages. But yeah, I'm going to carry on reading now, and then I'll probably just do an update when I finish the book. So I've just finished The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Oh my god, this was such a good book. I really enjoyed it. It had me like invested the whole time. I didn't know what was going to happen. There was a few like twists in there that I wasn't expecting. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. I think Holly Jackson's writing is like so fast paced, and I think because it's YA that helps, and it's just so quick to get through, but also she keeps you invested the whole time. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Like I say, there's a few twists where I was sat there like this, reading it by myself in a room by myself. Like, I was that shocked. So yeah, very much enjoyed it. Would really recommend. I think especially if you're a fan of her writing, like if you enjoyed the Good Girls Guide to Murder ones, or I wasn't sure if it was just gonna be like a similar vibe to that, you know, and it was just sort of gonna be the same because it's another YA mystery that the same authors wrote, but it wasn't at all. It was so different. I feel like it's a sort of, what's the word, plot that I've never really seen before, with there being like they're making a documentary throughout it and stuff like that. And like I say, there was like twists and turns and someone disappearing and then reappearing, or not someone, Rachel Price reappearing. It was so interesting. Like I say, it kept me invested, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I'm probably going to rate it 4.75, I think. I don't know why not 5. I just feel like 5 doesn't feel right. But yeah, 4.75. Really enjoyed it. Would definitely recommend it. Time wise, for the 24 hours, I have actually got half an hour left, 33 minutes, but I'm obviously not going to finish a book in 33 minutes, so I think I'm just going to leave it there, because I don't even have any small books or like short stories or anything that I could read. So I'm just going to leave the 24-hour readathon here. Well, 23-hour and 30-minute readathon here. Maybe if I film another one, maybe I'll add 30 minutes to it. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just going to leave it there because I've literally just finished this, and like I say, it seems silly to just read half an hour of a book because I'll probably only get like 20 pages in. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.